My friends, it's the end of year 2. Here we are. We're going to see, has anybody else made a move? Also, the players that had transfers already lined up, I think most of them probably happened about a month ago from July 2022. So maybe nothing has happened with them except that they've moved. But let's see if anybody else has developed. Had some great comments on last episode. Thoughts about like, hey, reminder that the players from amateur or semi-professional teams probably aren't going to develop as much simply because they don't have as much training in a week-to-week basis. That makes complete sense. Obviously, in the bigger countries, if you're able to move clubs early, that's going to help you out from a development standpoint. And several people said, maybe this Peter Doyle guy, maybe because he had all that development, is he the man? I think is what it's been quoted in the comments, the man. We'll have to find out. And as always, my friends, if you're new around here, hit that subscribe button over there. You can wait till the end if you want to hit the like button. But, if you want to catch up on the series and make sure you don't miss an episode, hit that subscribe button. It's interesting. I'm not sure why in the short list the order changes. On the last episode when I at the end of the episode, I sorted it on the short list by position, but that's not how I had it saved to holiday it forward to the end of year 2. So Josh is at the top of the list today, and he's gone down in wages. And I started to record this, and I was like, wait, is that a typo? Because I've got the spreadsheet that Eduardo and the community has put up for us. But then I realized, yes, he has taken a pay cut from 1.6 to 1.2K, but that's because Pescara apparently got relegated. Oh, from 17th too. Oh, that's brutal. That's the playoff spot, isn't it? Yes. Oh, Cremonese. Oh, that is... Oh, brutal. So he's actually gone down. He had this great move, Serie B. Yeah, that's a pretty decent level. And now down to Serie Chi is according to Old Lady Plays in my community. And she's a content creator, not just my community. You should check her out. But she's a linguist by training. So I believe her when she says it's Serie Chi. Is that terrible? Or, can they bounce right back? That seems not great, right? Still the same contract, because I was like, wait a minute. But now he's a regular starter. So he was a squad player, but he's earned some more time. Obviously, it's already gone into the Serie Chi season. So let's look back here. He's got 36 starts, like no subs, solid starter, 4 goals, 4 assists, 3 players of the match, 8 yellows on a 6.94. Not bad. I mean, to go from what was the 4th division in Poland, the amateur division, to Serie B and do a 6.94, I think it's solid. All right, cup competition, 3 goals and 4 starts on a 6.72. Man, one of those games had to be poor, right? Or maybe the goals weren't that fantastic. Like, how do you score 3 goals and 4 and only get a 6.72? Interesting. So, wow, relegated. Does that mean, I wonder if he's got something in his contract. No clauses. He doesn't have like a, I guess, as a, 18-year-old when he signed the contract, he was 17 or so. You wouldn't have a minimum fee release clause. Like, he's not that good yet, right? So it's not like somebody's going to come in and snap him up. He's worth 1.1 million, which is almost up, 4 times? He was worth 235 last time. Has put on some more weight. He started the series at 138 pounds, then went to 149. Now he's 156. He's beefing up. Way to go, Josh. And then I did have somebody leave a comment. Actually, I think it was in the Discord. Rob. Hi, Rob. Said, you can go to development and look at their attribute changes, but not if you're not their manager. So I can't see that nice I guess from your perspective, nice progression chart. We kind of have to use this whole spreadsheet thing and take a look. So I'm going to look at that real quick so we're not just sitting here watching me go like this. Oh, ooh, ah. And then I'll tell you what I think is the major changes. All right, from what I could tell, it looks like the green ones he has up here, right? So long shots, passing, composure, decisions off the ball. Of those, only decisions and off the ball were already 16, I think. So he's improved a little bit, corners and crossing and all that kind of stuff's gone up, I think, about 1. His physicals have obviously developed. What's also interesting is when he started day 1, he was just an attacking mid, right? That number 10 role. And now he's at the end of year 1, he had the midfield, and now he's picked up the midfield and like somewhere on the left wing. Maybe it's like that inverted winger, maybe an inside forward because of his crossing being a 9, right? Like maybe he's more of that cut inside as a forward type of role. And maybe his, now that I see this, he got a straight red, I guess. Maybe that was what brought his Coppa Italia, 6.72 rating down. Maybe the other ones were pretty high, and then he had like a 6.0 or something, and that pulled his average way down. I just was like, ooh, okay, yeah, straight red. Looking at here, any injuries, and again, if there's stuff that I don't look at as I go through the players, leave a comment or jump in the Discord. We've got a specific channel set up for this series in the Discord, and I'll be glad to either pop it into that channel or to do it at the top of the next episode or as we go through the episode. So, just a gash head, no major changes. Again, he's under contract for another 2 years. That's interesting. Obviously, Pescara, you would expect probably to. It has been a long time since they've been down, essentially at the 3rd division level. So you would expect them to be able to bounce back up, right? And so that kind of determines what I think happens. Because if he's got a year left and they're still stuck in Serie C, you got to expect that they sell that guy, right? He's worth €1 million. Like, get rid, and good for his career too. So we'll have to see how that turns out. Last thing here, Josh has 5 under 21 caps, no goals, but he didn't have any caps the last time we saw him. So that's really, really good. I mean, at least he's getting noticed. Greg Baxter Greg here. Okay. Still at, somebody was very generous and left a comment on how to pronounce this team, and I'm still going to botch it. So butcher it. Yeah. Nizhny Novgorod. Yes. In the, 1st division of Russia. Okay. They got relegated. Okay, so I was like, wait a minute, weren't they in the Premier? So they got relegated. So our first 2 players we're looking at today have moved to teams who've then got relegated. It's not fantastic, really. But 1.4K a week. Okay, that move had already been lined up. So he just moved there. His contract was signed on June 11th. So he was one of the ones that had to wait to move. So he's all excited, right? Pekka, his agent's like, hey, I got you moving to the Russian Premier League. He's like, yeah! And then he gets there and it's like, we got relegated. It's like, yeah! I mean, it's still good, right? Like, it's not like they're in the 4th division or something like that, but it's just kind of like, yay. Oh, and that makes me, like, you hope that nobody moves to, like, one of those lower divisions, like, say, like, the 3 Bundesliga, right? And then that team gets relegated and disappears from the database for a little bit. Like, what happens to our player then? Let's hope that doesn't happen. Let's be positive, right? Right? So 1.4K a week, worth $875. He had, this is at Hongnam before he moved. Okay, so they have again, it looks like the calendar year, January to December schedule. So he gets 10 total starts on a 7-2-9. So bossing the league. Only the 1 assist, no goals as a DM. Come on, mate. And then he just got there, so he's not going to have. Oh, he's had a looks like 2 friendly starts, or a start and a sub. 2 appearances is what I meant to say there. But he's on a contract for 2 years, so that's interesting. So he signs the deal, but just like Josh, he's on essentially a 2-year deal rather than like a 3 or 4 year deal, and that has a relegation wage drop. So did the relegation happen before he signed? It looks like maybe it depends. No, he probably got, I don't know. Maybe it was a little bit higher and then it went down, or was he already, like, the relegation happened and then he shows up, so his contract stays the same at 1.4K. I don't know. All right, the only real changes I see from an attribute standpoint is his agility, and one of the other ones has gone down. Agility and pace, have gone down by 1. His strength went up by 1. But again, when you're at that club, right, Hongnam, and then you make a move, right? Like, the fact that he hasn't completely collapsed being at a semi-pro or amateur level, whichever one it was, they are amateur, is actually probably a good thing, right? So now he's at a real club with real training facilities. Yes, they got relegated, but they're still going to have training facilities. So I'm hoping at the end of year 3, Greg has bounced back, right? Some of his physicals are better. Some of his mentals and technicals are better, right? Like, that's what we want to see. Still, worth $875 at 18 years old, and you've not played like a professional minute of football. Not bad. So, Greg also is capped at the under 23 level. I'm not sure if that's different. Actually, now that I think about it, in the spreadsheet that Eduardo has, he has just international caps. I don't know if that means senior level or not. So I don't know if Josh actually had 5 already, and then if Greg was already capped or not. We'll have to take a look. Either way, it's at least they're getting noticed. All right, next up is Liam, and I remember Liam had like lots of clubs interested. Wasn't he the one that had like 13 or 16 clubs interested in him because he was an Alto Paraguay? He's made a move to HNK Gorica. I'm sure someone will leave a comment with that. Professional status, good. First league in Croatia, good. Okay, that's all good news, and they've been there for a while. So it's not like they just got promoted and you expect them to get relegated. All very good things. 1.4K a week, 650K value, a 3-year deal. So that's different from the other players we've looked at today. Still a right-footed center back. He's gained 4 pounds. I don't know. I just think it's funny to focus on that. Like, oh, he's continuing to put on weight. Again, January to December time frame from a calendar standpoint. So in the first, 6 months or whatever of his Alto Paraguay season, 15 starts, 4 goals, 4 goals, center back, probably set piece maybe, 3 assists on a 7.98, lighting up the amateur status league in Paraguay. 7.98, that is insane. I mean, a 7.33 and a 7.43 are pretty good, but a 7.98 from a center back, I mean, that is just mental. That is just mental. Signed yesterday, literally just got there. They picked him up on a free. They don't have to pay a transfer fee, anything like that. Let's take a look here at his attributes. All right, it's not all bad. Again, you get that amateur thing for 6 months, and he hasn't had but just a day to develop in Croatia, so you're not expecting a whole lot here. His dribbling went down by 1, but his anticipation and composure and leadership have all gone up by 1. On the physical side, his agility has gone up by 1, and his jumping reach, he's up to a 17. So he started with a 16. He's up to a 17, which is absolutely massive, really, for a center back, right? Like, obviously he's 6'2", but getting that jumping reach and not losing your heading ability while you work in an amateur club, that's all very good things for Liam. So the question becomes, he's squad player, so that's okay, at a good level. I wonder how many appearances he's going to get. Like, when you hear squad player, are we thinking like 10 starts, 10 subs type range? Maybe it depends on how well he develops. We really need to get that determination up, though. That's kind of not great from an injury standpoint. Just slight. Nobody, why would I say that? Nobody's had a horrific injury just yet. No youth caps or anything like that for Paraguay. So we'll keep tabs on Liam. Next up on our list here, it is Joe Bridgeman, Spartak Moscow. 7.5K a week, my friends. That's a raise. Okay, he was on 6.75K. He's worth 625 grand. He was worth 350 last time, so that's gone up. He was a breakthrough prospect. He's now a fringe player. So, let's see. Did he sign a new contract, or is it just like a natural progression? No, he signed a new contract. January 29th of this year. So, maybe he had a yearly wage rise, but maybe as part of that contract, he got a loyalty bonus, probably a 50 grand, right? If it's, July 2nd and he's got that much left. So maybe it was 50 grand, or maybe it was, 60 grand. I don't know. He had some sort of a loyalty bonus that got bumped up. And it could be one of those things where, you can offer a contract to a player that says, we'll start you off with a breakthrough prospect, and the next season you'll be a fringe player, and the next season you'll be a squad player, something like that. So all that's good. Still a right-footed right back, so hasn't picked up any new positions, which we don't really, we're not bothered by. Last season, okay, because he played in the reserves pretty much. 11 starts, 5 subs in the reserves on a 6.92, not bad. And then for the senior team, 1 substitute appearance on a 6.4, but also 22 non-competitive games. Is that the reserves, or is M2 the... M2 is like the reserves team that plays in the division below. So maybe the rest was like the 22 starts here, non-competitive. I'm guessing Spartak Moscow did not have 22 friendlies. Maybe that means under 18s or something like that. Somebody, if you're familiar with the Russian league more than I am, leave a comment on that. But either way, seems to be moving up in the world. Now, let's check these attributes. Has he really increased his status here? He's put on 9 pounds. That's a start. This is the value of going to a club like this. So he has gone up by 1 in corners, crossing, dribbling, free kicks, passing, marking as well, and tackling. So technicals improving for sure. And same thing on the mental side. He's had 7 attributes go up by 1. So his anticipation, his concentration, his determination. That's like the first one I think we've seen that went from a 12 to a 13. Yay, that's good. Leadership has gone up to a 4. Off the ball has gone up to a 9. Positioning is up. Vision is up. All those really, really good. And then, my goodness, physically, acceleration up by 2 to a 15. So he's up. Well, he's not the paciest yet. He's gone from a 12 to a 13 on pace, but like he can get up and down that side, right? Like that's really good, from a development standpoint. Agility is up by 1. Balance, jumping reach is the same, 5'9". Fair. Natural fitness is the same, but again, the pace has gone up. Stamina and has stayed the same, as strength has gone up. So all those really, really good. That acceleration and pace, though, right? Like, if he gets really good, could he maybe get pulled into like some backup winger? He's got decent crossing and passing and technique. And if he has that pace and acceleration to run up and down the sideline there, or maybe like the actual wing back on the right role, maybe. I mean, it's early days, but I think that's kind of interesting. And then from an injury standpoint, nothing crazy. We don't want injuries, but we got to check it, right? I'm not trying to jinx somebody, right? Like, hey, it's all right, it's fine. Chris Carpenter has escaped Nepal, my friends. This is massive news. He's got 3 caps. He's got 3 international caps. That's fantastic. He's gone to Royal Excel Mouscron, which is probably not how you say it. Pro League B in Belgium, but still professional status, right? Like, looks like they got, not this past season, but right, like the season before that, got relegated, but then finished 5th. Okay, so actual team, professional. They got him on a free. He literally just signed the contract. So his contract was up in Nepal, and he's up to 1.5K a week on a 2-year deal. Again, interesting that we're seeing Pekka is all about the 2-year deals, right? Except the one that was a 3-year. But let's do some 2-year deals. This season we'll get something going here. He's gone from being worth 29 grand to 550 grand just by moving to that league. And he's gone from making nothing to 1.5K a week. So Chris is living the good life, right? Things are going fantastic for him. South Asian Football Federation Championship, 3 starts, 2 assists on a 7.83. 7.83. Get in, son. How did Nepal do? They qualified out of the group stage on 4 points over Afghanistan. Not over Afghanistan. Afghanistan's at the top of the list. GHG, what are you doing? Over the Maldives and Bangladesh. Okay, and in the semifinal, they lost to Sri Lanka 2-1. Kind of disappointing. But, get in, son. Had 34 starts. Again, Kathmandu Club, amateur status, B Division Nepal. But 34 starts, 5 goals, 7 assists, 8.1. 8.1. I know, again, the level matters. But, and then in a cup competition, 8 starts and a sub on a 7.6. So, got noticed, moves to Belgium on a free. Somebody let me know in the comments. Is there a normal connection? Like, is Belgium known for pulling players from Nepal? Or is that just some random thing that happened? Either way, I freaking love it. He's moved. Let's go. So, as you would expect, being in that amateur league until yesterday in the holidaying, right? Not a whole lot has changed. His tackling went down by 1, but his concentration went up. And then physically, I think it was like his natural fitness went up by 1 and his jumping reach went up by 1. I might have missed one other attribute, but no major changes. The major change is that he's moved to a professional team at the age of 18. So, really excited. Now, fringe player, they're gonna let him develop a little bit, put him in the youth squad, maybe in the reserve squad, something like that. He's an international though, right? So like he's got that in it going for him already. So get on, Chris. Let's go, son. Next up, Brian McGee has signed a new contract apparently because he was on $550 a week as a breakthrough prospect. He's up to $675 squad player. The contract end date originally I think was this coming December 31st? Or am I thinking about the last club? Either way, he's good for another 2 years. He's put on a whopping, my friends, 4 pounds. Obviously, it's very, very, very important for us all to know that. And he's got 2 under 20 caps. Those are the same, apparently, that he had last time. His value has gone from 205 to 550. Okay. Is he getting any games? That's what we want to know. So last season, he had 4 total appearances, 3 starts, and a sub in the league, okay, on a 6.65. Not the best. He had the 1 continental sub that we talked about, right? So that must have been first, and then they had some league games that he played in later in the season. Thus far in 2022, halfway through the season, he's had 4 league starts, 2 league subs on a 6.83, so that's better. Okay. 4 cup starts on a 6.53, that's not better. Okay. And then 2 continental starts on a 7.1, which is, not bad, really. Has he had any, crazy injuries or anything? A twisted knee for a week, bruised ankle, nothing aggressive. Okay. No minimum release clause. Got a small loyalty bonus. 675 weeks, 650 after tax. Okay, good for him. Let's see. They were the Chilean First Division champions. Get in last season, so he's part of that. Because he made his senior debut. That's why. Again, this goes to show you. I'm curious. Colo Colo. Let's just take a look. We didn't look at all the other facilities of the other teams. Excellent training facilities. Fantastic place for him to be at. Good old Brian. Because if you look at his attributes, I'm not going to do every single one of these. Again, if you want to know every single attribute change, join the Discord. Go to the channel inside of Discord where we are talking about this series, and there's a pinned message. I almost said tweet. Pinned message in Discord that'll link you to the spreadsheet so that you can see the year-by-year changes in the attributes. But essentially, lots of +1s in this column, right? So tackling being 1, heading being 1. All 4 of these are all up by 1. The corners, crossing, dribbling, finishing. So lots of good stuff there. The things that stick out to me is obviously the bright green. He's gone from 15 to a 16 on acceleration, a 15 to a 16 on jumping reach. His agility's gone up 1. His balance has gone up 2. His natural fitness is the same. His pace is up 1. His stamina's up 1. His strength is up 2. Dude is developing. That's really exciting, really. Again, going to a club like Colo Colo with excellent training facilities and actually having a contract, being a squad player, so he's getting some minutes, all those things combining, very, very good for Brian. I'm excited. Mr. Kev has made his move. Remember, he was at DV7 Soccer. He's gone to Montpellier. History. Okay, so he played another 12 games calendar season. 12 starts, 12 goals. Goodness me. 12 starts, 12 goals, 1 assist on a 7.83. And he finished last season, because remember, we're in the summer, and it went probably to sometime in the fall or December. He ended up with 31 starts and a sub, 14 goals, and 9 assists on a 7.67. Only 3 players of the match. You average a 7.67 and you only get 3 players of the match. That seems a bit harsh if you ask me. That's just crazy. And then he goes to Montpellier for $5.5 grand from a transfer fee to Ligue 1, so good. And when did he go? Yesterday. So that's why he's not made a single appearance. So let's take a look at the contract here. 3-year deal, 2,300 a week, decent loyalty bonus, 34.5 grand. If he gets 20 games, his wages go up 1,500. Optional contract extension, so that's interesting. So if somebody tries to come in and poach him, the last season, is he going to take an extension, something like that? Does have the relegation drop in case they get relegated. Let's take a look at their... Okay, so that'd be unexpected, I guess, if you look at the recent history based on their performance in the league. So, a decent, top level of France league or team. That's pretty exciting. Even though it's a French player contract, he's 18. That's fine. Capped at the under 23 level. Has he had any crazy injuries? No, he had a calf strain that was 4 weeks. Okay, that happened. Maybe he already had the deal lined up, the transfer already lined up. It was for the end of the season, so it didn't mess anything up. Because that's, April to May, you might have some concern, if you were the buying team, something like that. But nothing. It's not like a broken leg or anything like that. We'll have to see how he does in France. That's exciting. All right, Andrew Wood, as noted, got the comments. Gordon Bell, who's part of the experiment, left the comment. One, he said he's the Canadian Xavi, and then FCSB is Steaua Bucharest, which I'm sure I didn't even say that correctly, but yeah, there you go. Thanks, Gordon. Trying to learn all of world football is hard. Anyway, Andrew Wood is on $750 a week, worth $350 grand. No international caps of youth caps or anything like that. Breakthrough prospect. When did he join? He joined less than a month ago. 6/15. Okay. $8,500 loyalty bonus. Nice. Relegation drop, contract extension. So again, if for some reason somebody wants to come try and poach him, he also had a major 4-week injury, but that was last August versus in April. But he also had a tight calf, but it was on a calf strain. That was the last player. Nothing too crazy. Okay. From a history standpoint, he just got here. So he ended, again, half season probably with SC Pitch in Guinea-Bissau. 12 starts, a sub, 5 goals, an assist on a 7.33, 2 cup starts, nothing, and a 6.95. So not terrible. But last season, again, the second half of the season, we wouldn't see until this episode. So he ends up with 22 goals and 30 starts and a sub on a 7.57 plus 4 assists. So again, really good. And then 6 goals and 6 appearances in the cup with 3 assists on a 7.93. That is insane. Maybe it's like really low level, like some sort of club or a country cup, where like they're going to destroy people. I don't know. That's crazy. He's put on 5 pounds, that's exciting. Just looking at the attributes, no like huge swings in attributes. Like his penalty taking is a 10 and it used to be his 9, and his marking is an 8 and it used to be a 9. But like those aren't like, it's not like so many different categories have changed drastically, right? Like his anticipation's up by 1, but pretty much everything else maybe is actually his concentration and composure have gone down by 1, which is not what you want to see, right? Everything else is just about the same. Agility is up by 1. So again, when you're going from, the Dominican Republic amateur, or not Dominican Republic, I just looked at that and said Dominican Republic out of my mouth. From the GB Division 2 in Guinea-Bissau at the amateur level up to Bucharest. Steaua Bucharest, is that has that? In, a professional national reputation of 3-star, in Romania. That's going to be different, right? So his development really has a chance to kick off now. Great training facilities as well. So he's got a chance, breakthrough prospects. So I'm probably anticipating, maybe a couple of substitute, I'd say 5 or less substitute appearances in the league, but maybe gets a cup appearance here or there. Maybe? What do you think? All right, Peter Doyle. Now this is the one that everybody's like, oh, this has got to be the man now. We got to change our votes. Let's see what's happened here. He says 6 caps. Did he already have caps? He had no caps, so he's gotten 6 caps since we last saw him. Okay, 10.5 grand to Braga. Okay, he probably just got there. Yes, just got there. Looking back at the Vegetarian Lions, which is, fan-freaking-tastic. In half a season this season, 15 starts, 5 goals, 4 assists, 7.41. 1 goal, an assist, and a start on an 8.6 in the cup. International, okay, we're getting actual international caps here. 4 starts and a sub on a 6.84. That's not bad. To start off your international career, he had, I guess, won the maybe that was in the fall after we recorded, because I don't remember that, on a 7.4. Did he have one before that? No. So like international appearances. That's pretty tasty. No automatic or 1-year optional extension. He's on a 3-year deal though, $1,100 a week. African Championship of Cup of Nations is what that's called. So 7.3 on average and 4 starts with a goal, 2 assists. Not bad. Let's take a look at those attributes, because that was the thing last time. I was like, there were significant attribute change. What do we see here? All right, so I'm really curious what you're going to think now. Only 2 things have changed. His free kick taking and his anticipation have both gone up 1. So it's like he had that big burst of lots of development, and now a year later, just 2 things have changed. Again, different level, right? But like he was at that level the last time and developed. And since then, he's gotten a move, which just happened, but he's also made, some international appearances. So that's kind of interesting. There was like a surge of change, and then, not nothing, but like not a lot, 130 pounds though. He's up 5 pounds. He's still 5'6" though. He needs to put on some weight. We'll see. I'm curious at what you think of the comments. If you said last episode, hey, Peter might be the man, are you changing that now that not much has changed in the last year? Let me know. The Canadian Messi has moved, my friends. He's at Calvary FC, that we all know and love, in the Canadian Premier League. So that was, I think, rumored last time. It actually happened for a whopping $7.5 grand. Let's take a look back last season. Ended up with 22 total starts, 4 goals, 12 assists. Hello, assist maker, 7.45 average rating, plus some cup starts there with 4 goals, 6 assists. Man, an assist machine on a 7.38. Then he joins Calvary FC at the end of last calendar year. So I guess it's again, maybe let's look here. January. Yep, January to December contracts, or how their contracts are running. So we're halfway through the season. 11 total appearances, 6 starts, 5 subs, 6.57. Not fantastic. A cup start on a 7.3. That's better. You know, but it's like his first step up, right? Man, to go from having that many assists to like, oh wow, this is a different level, right? Like, I've gone from the semi-pro ranks to the pro ranks. Welcome to that. Got a pulled hammy. That makes me want to look at the injuries. Ooh, is he injury prone? He's going to get labeled as injury prone. I mean, gashed upper leg is someone, you know, could be like 2-footed studs up on you. You can't control that. Bruised ankle and then the pulled hammy. So nothing too crazy. 300 a week, which is a 10 times raise. He was on 30 a week. 91 grand value. That's almost doubled. He was at 54 grand. Interesting. I guess it's January to December, so it's a 2-year deal, right? So he signed January 2022 to essentially December 2023. That's a 2-year deal. So another 2-year deal from Pekka, the agent. That's really interesting, though. Let's take a look. Has anything significantly changed on his attributes? All right, I have the list. But I want to check one thing here. Calvary, professional, just average facilities. Well, I mean, obviously that's an improvement, right? If we go back to Vorkuta. So again, they don't have facilities. Semi-pro side. Cool. I don't know why I took the time to look at that. You know, will he get to a better league, you know, or is he going to stay in the Canadian Premier League? That'll be interesting to see because MLS is right there. I don't know how much recruiting happens between other countries and the Canadian Premier League. So I don't know, does anybody in Europe come poach Canadian talent? I don't know. However, all that being said, going from a semi-pro to a professional side with actual facilities, you've got all these are up by 1. So unless it's up by more than 1, I'm just going to say the name. Corners, crossing, heading, long shots, long throws, marking, penalty taking, technique. That's all in the technical column, my friends. And then from the remaining 2 sections, just work rate, acceleration, and stamina, all up by 1. The other thing that stands out to me, and maybe you've already seen this by now, center back? Do you want a 5'4" center back? I mean, maybe it was an emergency situation. Maybe. It just seems like that is not. I mean, his heading has got up from a 10 to an 11. Dude, he's 5'4", right? Like, you don't put the 5'4" guy as the center back that's going to be, you know, helping get rid of your corners, right? Your opposition corners. So now I'm like, did they really play him there? Okay, this is with Calvary. Okay, this is the current team on in the 33rd minute. That, to me, my friends, seems like an injury. Yeah? Okay, let's go back. All teams. Has he ever played center back before? Okay, it was just the one time. Because he is getting, apparently, some under 20 action here, but they're all playing him as a midfielder, deep line playmaker, you can see. So maybe it was just this one game. I'm really curious now. I wish I could go. Okay, that was the 29th. That just happened, right? Yeah, May 29th. Let's go. I don't know. Maybe this is not interesting to you. It's interesting to me, so I'm going to do it. May 29th, Valur FC. Chris Reeves injured. That makes sense. I mean, it doesn't make sense that they didn't have any other... Oh, torn knee ligaments. I bet that happened in that game. Oh, no, it didn't. It had nothing to do with it. He had a 4-week thigh strain. He comes back from that and then separately tears his knee ligaments. Sorry to hear that, Chris Reeves, because apparently he's a real player. Sorry, Chris, out there in the universe, if you ever see this, let me know. But do they not have any other center back? You know, like, Oh, no. That's the wrong game. That one. They won 3-0. Did they not have any other center backs on the bench? Maybe the manager just likes Gordon a lot. I don't know. I've looked at their roster. They had Martin Amuse on the bench, who is a center back. He's 6'2". Now, I'm not saying like he's the most effective with the ball at his feet. You know, you put Gordon in at a ball-playing defender, but you had a center back sitting there on the bench. They had Jordan Morel on the bench, who, I mean, isn't a center back, but like is a defensive player. He'd be familiar with the system. I don't know. And Joseph Di Chiara, who is a midfielder who can also play center back, who's experienced, right? Like you get a horrible injury, or you get an injury. It wasn't a horrible one. It was a 4-week strain, whatever. You know, bring the 30-year-old guy, plop him in the center back role. I don't. That's way too much time on that. But I was just like, wait, like what? Maybe they just wanted the ball playing defender aspect of his game, and you know he's got the first touch and the passing, the technique, and the vision. So you don't worry about playing defense because like you're not strong and you can't jump. So give Gordon the ball, I guess. All right, and last but not least, Pekka still just has the 10 clients. He's still based in Sweden. Nothing has changed from that standpoint. You can see the values have changed, though. We now have Josh Payne in Serie C, which is kind of interesting, worth 1.1 million after the relegation. That's kind of fascinating. Looking at our short list, let's just change it here because it kind of makes it obvious the changes, right? So we got a striker / attacking midfielder. So that's also really interesting because I think I missed that Andrew Wood. I can't remember who was originally the striker. It was probably Mr. Kev. So it wasn't Andrew Wood the 10? Or maybe I'm remembering things wrong, but that's interesting. We now have 2 players with bright green dots on striker. Chris Carpenter still on the left wing. Peter Doyle still on the right wing. Josh Payne all over the attacking midfield and midfield areas. Gordon Bell, as we just noted, midfield and center back. And Greg Baxter with the DM, but also has played at least one game probably at midfield. Center back, and then Brian McGee still with the left back and center back. Joe Bridgeman has decided not to go into the center back life. But I'd like to see if Joe can become like a wing back or a winger or a right attacking midfielder. I think he's got the pace and acceleration to do it. That's where we're going to end today's episode, my friends. If you are enjoying the series, make sure, you go ahead and hit that like button. I love getting all these comments. I can't respond to every single one of them all the time, but I do read them all. So make sure, I would love to know your thoughts on some of these moves and development and all that kind of stuff. So leave those comments. Has your vote changed? Whether you voted for Peter Doyle or somebody else, do you think somebody's now the front runner to have that highest potential ability? If you're enjoying content like this and you want to support it financially, you can become a YouTube member, which is there's a link to that in the description below. You can also see it from the channel page, or you can go to patreon.com/grayhairgaming. We'll see you next time, my friends. Have a good one.